Hello everybody, it's EzraTime again here. Welcome back to another movie review video. And today we're gonna be reviewing Hellraiser, which is it's the reboot or like a remake of Hellraiser released in today, literally on Hulu. Sadly, again. And I'm here to obviously just talk about the movie. You know what's good about the movie and what's bad about the movie, visual stuff, and you know and for stars, I was actually not like I wasn't like a super big fan of Hellraiser, but I do know the movie, because I do know Pinhead, played by Doug Bradley, obviously, which is amazing. And I think the first four movies, like the one that was like solid, right? And I did was like a review made by Chris from 3C Films, for the rest of the Hellraiser movie, and it was like, yeah, I mean the rest of them is just like whatever, I guess, but the first four is like the one that felt pretty solid, I guess. Or like the first two, like is the one that feels like a solid movie, and then the rest of them just like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they're fun, sometimes they're like awful, and sometimes they don't even feel like a Hellraiser movie, But yeah, I was actually pretty looking forward to seeing this, because I mean, at this point, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just looking something new to watch, to be honest, because nothing much is coming up from the theaters at this point. It's pretty boring, to be fair. So I decided to, well, give it a watch, because it's something new, right? It's a remake. Might as well give it a watch, to see what I think about it. And I will say this though, I think as a Hellraiser movie, this felt pretty solid in my opinion. And obviously, the good part about this movie is I think the directing by David Bruckner. Like he does a great job. The cinematography is also pretty amazing by Ellie Bourne. And the music as well by Ben Lovett, I think. Like he was also amazing. The music, the score in this movie is actually really really good. And obviously we can't forget about the Pinhead, or I guess they call it the priest in this movie. I'm just gonna call her like female Pinhead because that's what she is, right? Played wonderfully by Jamie Clayton. I think Jamie Clayton performance as the priest is actually really really amazing. Because like I do think that she is actually really cool as Pinhead. I know people want Doug Bradley back, and I also wanted him back. And I think the filmmaker kind of reached out to Doug Bradley to do some cameo thing, but Doug say no because he wants to keep the legacy of his character intact. I think that's the reason. Also, COVID. There's also another reason. But yeah, I kind of sad that we don't exactly see Doug Bradley again. Because I think that would be cool if he say yes to make a cameo. I think that would be pretty cool. But then again, I understand his decision. So we got a wonderful performance by Jamie Clayton. So why not, right? She is great as the Pinhead in this movie. And I think the voice, when I first heard her voice as Pinhead, I was like, oh, okay, like it's kind of cool, but I feel it was like heavily edited, right? But as the movie went forward, I actually love her voice as Pinhead. I think the voice is also cool in my opinion. And I know that Doug Bradley voice probably sounds more natural than her voice, because like it seems like Doug Bradley is actually speaking, oh no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering, like it's actually sounds natural because I think Doug is the one who, you know, say that. But I feel like Jamie like voice seems edited in my opinion. Like I don't think she has a deep growly voice, because her Pinhead sounds like that, which is cool. But I do think it was edited, I don't know. It's just like a nitpick. I don't exactly have any problem with it, but I guess at first I kind of wish it was more natural, but as it progresses, I was like, you know what, the voice is cool, so like whatever, and it's no problem, So there's that. Um, and yeah, I think that's the oh yeah, the other part obviously, since it's a Hellraiser movie, is the kills, the gore is pretty amazing. I think this movie is pretty gory. Because if you watch the first two or like the first four Hellraiser movie, then yeah, that movie is pretty gory. And I feel like you expect the same gore for this movie, and yes, you will get that in this movie. And of course, the other argument that it could be, the gore could be more or something like that, right? Which I agree. Maybe it could have been more, because but at the same time, when the kills happen on the screen, it was actually amazing. Like it's actually not like oh like they kind of like shy away from the gore or like the kills. Like no, you actually see what's happening on the person, and it was like pretty gruesome in my opinion. and I think they got it. They got it for the modern day horror movie, for like modern Hellraiser. Then yeah, they officially got it. I really like the gore. It does make me like cringe, because like that's what you expecting when you watch a Hellraiser movie. And yeah, it does make me cringe at some point. Seeing the like the skin getting like torn apart and stuff like that. It was like, oh man, and that's great, because that's what you want to see on a Hellraiser movie. So after that, we're gonna get to the, I guess, the negative part about this movie, that what I didn't like. Well, first of all, I guess the runtime is 2 hours long, so it was like, wow, okay, like I don't think this movie needs to be 2 hours long. This movie could easily be in like at least 100 minutes or maybe 90 minutes, in my opinion. Like I feel like the first hour of this movie felt kind of drag, because I do feel kind of bored at certain point, because like Pinhead barely showed up in the first. I mean, she does show up at certain occasion, but it was just like there, until like not until like the final hour of the film, or like the second half of the film, I guess. And that's where Pinhead and the gang, or like the Cenobites, show up more, and then they become more prominent than before. And when you get to that point of the movie, it was like, yeah, it is amazing. I think I really like that. And I feel like the first half, when I mean, I do appreciate they kind of try to build up the characters and stuff like that, but at the same time, it does kind of feel drag, in my opinion. Like I don't really care too much about them. I mean, I do care about Riley, at some capacity. I don't think she's the great character, but she's enough, I guess, as the main character. And I think who else? I mean, yeah, that's the thing. The rest of the characters just like okay. I guess Colin, played by Adam Fashion. I think I like him. I think Riley and Colin is probably the one that I really care about. And also, obviously, this Zion, I think that's how I pronounce it, as Riley is. I mean, she put a good performance as Riley, and I think it does kind of carry on the her story, But yeah, I do think this movie could have been shorter. It could have been way more tighter than before, because it's 2 hours long, which is, I think this is like the longest Hellraiser movie, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think the rest of the Hellraiser movie felt like it was like 90 minutes long, sometimes 80 minutes long. Like it's never past 2 hours mark. But this one is like solid 2 hours. So that's why I feel like it's I think it's too long, in my opinion. But so they probably could just cut out the first hour of the movie, just make it more tighter than before, so we can get to the second half quicker, because again, you watch this movie on home, it was on Hulu, right? So like it's much more easier to just like turn off the movie if you got bored, and it's just doing something else, obviously, compared to going on theaters there, where you have to like sit down and just like sit to through the development, whether you like it or not, because like, well, you buy the ticket, right? So you need to sit through with it, so yeah, I do think this movie will make some people, like, I don't know, turn off the movie in the first hour, because like again, it's kind of feel drag on, and it's kind of felt boring, in my opinion. But at the same time, the second half make it worth, like it really made it worth it, because you see the Cenobites even more in the second half of the movie, and obviously you get to see Jamie Clayton as the Pinhead in this movie, and you get to see her more in the movie as is moving forward, and once the movie get reached to that point, then yeah, I think it's alright. I think it's enjoyable, I think this is a pretty solid Hellraiser movie, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm really curious to see if they're gonna do more sequels to this. Hopefully they do, kind of like Prey, the Predator movie, where maybe they're gonna do more sequels with. I hope they do. So hopefully they kind of do more sequels with Hellraiser, because I do like the world they're building here. And also one more thing, the lament configuration, because when you first watch like the rest of the Hellraiser movie, that yeah, it was like it's not even felt like a puzzle, even though it was supposed to be a puzzle, right? Like the lament configuration, but this movie, this remake, is actually the first one I saw that, or like I feel where the lament configuration is actually felt like a puzzle. It's actually felt that you need to solve this puzzle, and it's like, yeah, that's also another great thing about this remake. It makes the lament configuration felt more like a puzzle, instead of just like, like you just like rubbing your hand for a couple of minutes, and then suddenly Pinhead just showed up, and the gang just showed up, and then that's like, yeah, okay, it doesn't feel like a puzzle, So I'm really appreciating the effort they pulled here, and obviously they has some other reimagine as well for the Hell World, I guess, and I think it's pretty cool, and I really can't wait to see more of them in the sequels. Hopefully they make one. But yeah, that's my review for Hellraiser, guys. Again, if you guys haven't watched it, then please go watch it. I mean, it's available on Hulu. I think this is like a really solid remake. Again, Jamie Clayton is great as Pinhead, so I think everybody will love her in this role. I know some people have problem that, oh, like a female Cenobite, come on, But I would say this: the Cenobite in this movie is mostly female. There is some male Cenobite, but like most of them are females. And honestly, I have no problem with it. I think they're all pretty brutal and pretty hot at the same time, to be fair. And I'm fine with that. I'll be honest. I think it's pretty solid. So yeah, go watch it if you haven't already. And if you guys already watched the Hellraiser remix, then well, you guys can let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this movie? Do you guys love it? Do you guys hate it? And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this review, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, and become a member if you want to by clicking the join button below. And yeah, expect more reviews in the future, guys. And again, I really hoping that they make a sequel to Hellraiser. I think, or like this remake, because I want to see more of Jamie Clayton as Pinhead. I think she is amazing, so I think I want to see more of her in the future, and then maybe to see the rest of the Hellraiser world got brought to life again in the sequel, because I do think they could do more with the world building, So I'm really curious to see how they're gonna do that. But yeah, again, that's my review, guys. And again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this movie review. And I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.